Welcome back to the BrewNub channel. I'm Mike.
And I'm Joey.
And today we're going to take you through a 5-gallon batch of Dunkelweizen by Brewers Best. So sit back, relax, and we'll show you how it's done.
So on today's episode of BrewNub, we're going to be doing a Dunkelweizen by Brewers Best. In the box, it brings your priming sugar, 2 sets of hops, your Fugel and Willamette, cheese stock, dry wheat beer yeast, WB06, maltodextrin, 1 pound of specialty grains, and 2 cans of pure wheat liquid malt extract. So on today's episode, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need a mixing spoon, hop spider, a funnel, and this one has a strainer in it, and a stock pot that can hold 3 gallons of water.
We'll also need our tubing for the blow-off assembly. We'll need our airlock. We'll need our thermometer, a spray bottle for easy sanitation, a little jar for the blow-off assembly, and a measuring container. We'll also need 5 gallons of water. And then the last thing we'll need are 5-gallon carboy.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so these are going to be 2 things that aren't necessary, but I wanted to give it a try. The first thing's going to be our Irish moss, which should make your beer more clear. You're going to add that 15 minutes to the end of the boil, but we'll show you that step later on. And then we're also going to use our yeast nutrients, which is just going to make your yeast healthier. You're going to add that during the yeast pitch.
Okay, so now we're about to start our steeping process. So for our steeping process, we put 2.5 gallons of water in here, and we've let it reach to a temperature between 150 to 165 degrees Fahrenheit. And now we're going to grab our cheese stock and we're going to put in our specialty grains. We're going to put our cheese stock here in this box just to avoid a mess. And we're going to pour the specialty grains in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie it. Where's the toothpick? Ah, thank you. All right, and we're going to dip it in here. And this is going to sit in the water for approximately 20 minutes. And what's important is we don't want it to reach over 170 degrees because we don't want it to have excessive tannins because it'll ruin the taste of the beer.
Alright, so you steeped your specialty grains for 20 minutes. So let's get these out. Give it a good shake. And make sure you don't squeeze because you don't want to release the extra tannins. So once that's done, you want to turn your temperature up and you want to start getting this to a boil at 212. So as that gets to the boil temperature at 212, what you can do is you can set some hot water aside and start putting your liquid malt extract so that it liquefies and it makes it easier to pour out for the next step. Okay, so our wort has finally made it up to the boiling point. So what we're going to do is take it off and we're going to start adding our liquid malt extract. So we're going to dump this in. Joey, can you spray off the mixing spoon?
Sure can.
So one thing you want to make sure, you want to continuously mix this so it doesn't caramelize to the bottom of the pot.
All right, so now that we've poured in our malt extract, we're going to start pouring in the maltodextrin. You've already cut it, so we're just going to start pouring it in. And when you cut it, make sure you sanitize the scissors.
We also want to say, as you're pouring it in, just do it a little bit slow. And you also want to continuously stir so that it's not clumping. Alright, so now that you added all your extract and the
Maltodextrin.
The boil is going to be 60 minutes, and when that boil starts, you're going to want to add in your first set of hops, which are the Willamette pellets. You'll place those in, And then within 30 minutes, you're going to add in your second set of hops, which are the
frugal hops.
So when there's 15 minutes left, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of the Irish moss. Just a reminder, this isn't necessary for this kit. This is just something that we want to do as an addition.
Okay, so we're going to put our wort into an ice bath, and we're going to get this down to a temperature of 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And the reason we want it down to this temperature is because we don't want to kill the yeast.
All right, so we're ready to pitch our yeast. So Joey, let's get the wort into the sanitized carboy.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
All right, so now that you filled it up to the 5-gallon mark, we're about to pitch our yeast. So let's sanitize the package, sanitize the scissors, give it a cut. Joey, while I'm doing this, how about you sanitize that guy? Alrighty, so we're gonna shake this for 1 full minute. This is gonna cause aeration, which then you don't want to do it even longer because it will cause oxidation. So then by adding the yeast, what it's going to do, it's going to break down all the sugar to turn your wort into alcohol. So let's give this a good shake. Alexa, timer 1 minute. So this isn't necessary for this brew, but I did buy this yeast nutrient, which is recommended 1 teaspoon per gallon. So this is half a teaspoon. I'm going to add 10 really quick. So like I said, this is not necessary. It's just kind of an addition to make sure that your yeast stays healthy. All right, so the final steps of the brew day, we're going to start setting up the blow-off assembly. So the first thing you want to do, you want to get your hose, spray it off, get your cap ready to go, throw it in. Now once you have that all set up and you get it into a jar with some sanitizer, you're going to want to set this in the basement. So you're going to have 3 days with the blow-off assembly, then you'll fill this up with your sanitizer and have 11 days, which will equal out to 14 days, 2 weeks. Once you're done with that, you're going to go ahead and start the bottling process, which you can find here or here. All right, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out as we brew that 5 gallons of Dunkelweizen. Make sure to like and subscribe and give us a comment. Tell us if you liked it. If you hate us, call us out if we did something wrong. Either way, we appreciate everybody for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Peace. Peace. 1, 2, 3. Which?
Let's talk about these. 3.
No, sorry, there was a squirrel right there.
3, 2, 1.
Dude, it's right fucking there.
Right next to your fucking plants.
No, he's just sitting there all cocky and shit. Sorry, my lips are so dry.
I need something to drink.